Welcome back to another daily update here in the Creepy Crawler's Garage, and we've continued working on the Ripsaw project and got a lot of good ideas that came in for that project along with the Jeep Cherokee body. So sit tight through this opener. When we get back, we'll head in the garage and take a look. Don't go anywhere. Our focus today has been on the Ripsaw project, and mainly what I was able to do, or mainly what I worked on, were these side windows and the armor for the side windows. And like we talked about yesterday, I'm going to do it in the same way we did the front windshield. So basically, it's just a piece of styrene that was cut in the shape of the side, the driver and passenger side windows, along with the quarter windows in the back. And I put in some 3D printed bolts, just like up front, just to give it that look, and also some mesh in the cutouts. Now, I ran out of glue today, or I ran out of that thick 60-second glue that I use to make the faux welds. So I haven't got to do that just yet, but we'll be doing that coming up later today when I've actually got some glue coming in later today that we'll be able to finish that up with. And basically, these windows are going to look pretty much exactly the same as the front window. So the weathering will be the same. I'll be able to, once I do those welds in, I'll be able to finish up the weathering and give it basically the same look as this front windshield. So that's basically all we were able to get done today on the Ripsaw, because I ran out of glue. So it kind of brought me to a halt. But I did have a lot of good ideas come in for the Ripsaw that I wanted to talk to you guys about and get your thoughts on it. So one was, just like the TRXZ project, we don't have very good visibility out of this with these just small slits to see out of. So I got a comment about adding in a camera system, just like what we're going to do on the TRXZ project. And my thought was, we've got these spots on this one for where the rearview mirrors used to go. I think we just put in, this will be where our camera mounts go. So we'll mount a camera here and on the other side, and it'll look like can swivel, 180 degrees, so we get forward, sideways, backways viewing, whichever direction you need. So that was my thought on that. And then everybody liked the idea of the red spotlights, but I got a lot of comments about putting them on the inside of the interior and facing out of the front slits. And at first my thought was just to give the interior red glow and then have the spots sitting out here, where you could have the glow on, and then you could turn on the spotlights and just give that big flash of red light. But when I really started thinking about it and looking at the body, I think the commenters might be correct. I think this would look really good if the red spotlights were coming out of these slits here, out of the interior. And what I'm thinking is we just have 2 levels of light, so we can have a dim light and then a bright light. Because the idea I wanted was, if you have smoke and mist and it's driving down the city streets or whatever, and it's just got a light red glow coming out, and then all of a sudden those spotlights pop on bright red. Well, that can be really effective. One, for filming purposes, it can be really effective, but two, it can just be really intimidating, and really be effective as far as the evil car persona goes, I guess you would say. So that's what I think I'm going to actually do, is do the spots on the inside, but with 2 different levels, kind of a dim level and a bright level. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was the Mohawk itself that we're doing, the Mohawk of saw blades or whatever. And I think I'm just going to go the simple route, and I am just going to add spikes. But what I think I'm going to do, I'm actually going to leave the hood open. I'm going to start it right here. I think that, like, this is kind of the hairdo or the spike, right? And then this is the face and the nose sticking out front. And so I'm just going to put spikes on the roof and then finish it off out the back. And then I think what I'm going to do, I might add some spikes up front. I had one comment about doing a wood chipper or wood chopper up front. I think what I'll do is I'll kind of use that idea, but I'll use the spikes and wedges off of wood splitters and use those coming out of the front up here, probably with some diamond plate. We will have to leave some holes so we have some realism, make it look like the radiator gets a little air. But I think I am going to do just the spikes and wedges from a wood splitter. I think that would look pretty cool for up front there. So basically you'll have the eyes and then the mouth, painted teeth and real teeth, and then the Mohawk hairdo. And it really gives it kind of a character-esque or some human quality to the car. And I think that's going to be I think that's gonna be pretty good for the Ripsaw. Let me know what you think down below. If you have any other ideas, or let me know what you think about those ideas that we got in the comments section and that I'm thinking about running with. Let me know what you think down below. I also want to quickly talk about the items that Fern Solo sent in yesterday. We got some great ideas for these down in the comment section in the last daily update. And I just wanted to talk about them real quick. One, I'll start with the Wild Willie character. And the great idea we have for this, I talked about using this for the bar sign, a sign for the bar that we're going to be building, which everybody seemed to like that idea. But the best comment I got was, why not just call it Wild Willie's Bar and Grill? Kind of makes sense. It's a good name. It's Wild Willie. So I think that's probably what we'll do. We'll call it Wild Willie's Bar and Grill. We'll have this guy up here. I also had a great comment about having him sitting. This is when we were going to call it the Crankshaft Bar and Grill, but I still, even using the Wild Willie's name, I still like this idea of having him sit on like a crankshaft and maybe have the gear shift coming out of the crankshaft and all that he's kind of sitting on up there. I think that's a pretty good idea. I might look into doing that also, but I just wanted to say thanks. I think that's a great name, Wild Willie's Bar and Grill. Let me know if you like it also down below. And then with the Cherokee body, I think pretty much everybody was in agreement about doing it as a taxi. I think, I don't know if there was one comment that didn't want to do this as a taxi, but I thought even better idea is, because we were also talking about doing it as a scrapper's vehicle. What if it's a scrapper who runs a taxi business? So we do the taxi in that scrapper type build we were talking about, where he has the stuff that he scraps and finds as the armor. Like I know we had a comment about doing some fender skirts and things like that, but it's all done with items that were scrapped, but he's running a taxi business. And then Fern Solo himself came in saying, well, why don't we call it, call the vehicle itself Zuber? And I thought, oh, that's a great name, but what if we go one better? What if we name the guy, the character driving the taxi, his name is Zuber, and it's Zuber's Taxi Service. So I think that's the way we're going to go. So basically, we're going to have a new character. His name will be Zuber. He runs Zuber's Taxi Service, and basically he's a scrapper. So what I'm thinking about doing is maybe having a motto for Zuber's Taxi Service as something to the effect of scraps and rides, or get your scraps, get your ride, or I don't know, some kind of motto or slogan for the company where it's not only a taxi service, but it's also a scrapping business. So in the back of the taxi, we can probably have a bunch of scrap items back there that he sells out of the back of his taxi while also driving the taxi. Anyways, that was kind of the idea I had. I think it would be a cool meshing of the two ideas. Let me know what you think down below, but I think that's probably the idea we're going to go with. And they had a lot of ideas also about painting it yellow, doing the checkered stuff. I'm still working on some ideas for that, because I definitely wanted to look very futuristic. So an old car that's now in the future. So I'm still kind of coming up with some ideas for that. I actually had an idea, and the idea was to use Wild Willie here as a automated driver. Now we're not going to use him, but something about that idea I kind of like, where maybe Zuber just rides in the passenger seat and there's essentially a robot or an android or an automated driver that drives the car. That's an idea I'm kind of bumping around also that was left in the comments. So let me know what you think on all those. If you have any other ideas too, now that we're going to kind of move forward with this as a taxi/scrapper business, let me know if you have any ideas down below on that and what you think about the ideas we got in the last daily update. Thanks for joining me here in the garage for another daily update. And sorry it was a little bit of a short update, but I ran out of glue and kind of came to a halt with the work I could do. But no worries, I got more glue coming in today. Amazon's bringing it to the door today, so I'll be able to get a lot of work done over the weekend. So Monday, we should have a pretty good update. Hopefully, if everything goes right, we should have a pretty good update on Monday. But I do appreciate you joining me today. Hit that like button if you would. Again, it does help in these YouTube algorithms, the way YouTube works today. Got to hit that like button. I really do appreciate you doing that. Leave me the comments down below. Let me know what you think about the builds, and hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys on Monday. Bye-bye.